Yeah, Carlin turns on the TV, Christian flips off the screen, cause there's no good children's shows that he's seen. We've got dogs with blogs, superheroes in the ER. All dads are dumb and kids have better PR. Carlin just smile, Christian sits with the scowl. He complains to his son, all the kids shows suck now. They sit and discuss the show's plus and minuses while you listen or watch on YouTube to the arguments. Who is right? Is it the son or the dad? Either way you get to laugh knowing Christian is mad. So pull up a chair, get the corner poppin'. Here's a new episode of What Are We Watching?
Hi everybody, thanks for joining the What Are We Watching podcast, where me and my dad watch kid shows. He thinks they're terrible and I think they're awesome, and he's wrong.
Well, oh, nice. I like how you got in the he's wrong there. I don't think they're all terrible. I mean, only about 99.9% of them.
And that's all of them, mostly.
Well, I mean, like I've said before, it's good to know you're good at math. But all right. But yes, this is the What Are We Watching podcast at whatarewewatching.com. You can also find us on my main site, which is plaiddadblog.com, where you can see all of the projects I work on, including Dad Sews, which is a channel where I'm learning how to sew on camera. That might not sound exciting to you, but that's because you haven't seen my son Carlin, his sister Melina, and I destroy a Singer sewing machine with baseball bats, like the fax machine in the movie Office Space. If you don't get joy out of seeing that, well, I just don't know where your head is. And that was a lot of fun to do, wasn't it?
Yes.
26 shots, I believe. 26 shots, and we did a shot-for-shot remake of Office Space. So go to dadsews.com and check that out. And you'll see a lot of the stuff I write about on parenting. You'll also see the upcoming children's book that my 7-year-old daughter, is writing a children's book with me. And that's going to be out on Plaid Dad Blog. And we're also doing the Veda Challenge, which is vlog every day in April, where I'm putting out a vlog every day for 30. How many days are in April? 30 or 31?
30 because March was 31.
I don't even know. But apparently he knows, and there's 30 days. And I'm going on a cruise next week without your little butt, which is going to be super nice. And so I will have beautiful vistas to vlog at. What are you going to do while I'm out that cruise?
My grandparents are coming over to stay with us.
Well, yes, I knew that. But what are you going to do without me in your life for 8 days? How are you going to handle living?
I have no idea, but I'll just go along with it.
Well, you do pretty good with your grandparents. And he goes to camp alone, so I'm pretty sure you're going to be fine. You're not even going to miss me, are you?
I am.
Yeah, I won't miss you at the buffet because you would eat all the food and not leave me any. So this week, we watched Stuck in the Middle, and we watched the very first pilot episode of Stuck in the Middle, also titled Stuck in the Middle. Now, you can always find out what we're going to watch at the What Are We Watching podcast, because every Wednesday we come out with a regular episode, and then the next Wednesday, a mini episode. And in the mini episode, we wrap up last week's episode, give prizes away to people that leave comments on YouTube, Libsyn, and whatarewewatching.com. We'd love to give prizes away like Amazon gift cards, Game Boy DS gift cards. And then we also let you know what we're going to be watching. And we usually embed the video. So if you don't have cable, you can watch it for free. We usually do not watch pilot episodes because the shows really aren't in sync yet and they aren't really cemented in what they're going to be. But Disney and Nickelodeon honestly are pretty good at having the very first episode be really consistent with the rest of the episodes. So we just watched that this week. I think this one's going to be fairly short. It was a pretty easy, simple storyline, not a lot of B storylines, which is cool. And of course, we'll always go to our What Are We Watching checklist. So did you enjoy Stuck in the Middle?
Yes, I thought it was pretty cool. The one thing I noticed that she was an inventor at first because she had made a mom tracker and her mom hides in the pantry, obviously,
right,
because she is very
tired.
Yes, of the kids.
She's got 9 kids, right? Was it 7 kids or 9 kids?
7.
7 kids. and the title character is the middle child, hence the title, Stuck in the Middle. All right. Well,
Well, the name Stuck in the Middle makes sense. That's an odd number because you would have a number stuck in the middle if it was odd.
Right. She is the odd one. Well, actually, they're all odd in this show. All right. Well, before we go into the episode, let's go ahead and talk about our What Are We Watching checklist, the board behind me. Now, we always talk about three things. Was there a laugh track? Were there any adults around? And were they idiots? Were the adults shown to be morons? So, was there a laugh track in this show? Did you notice?
I don't think. I thought most of it was actually funny.
You thought most of it was funny. There wasn't a laugh track in the show. It didn't seem to have like that classic Disney laugh track, right?
Yeah, it was really good.
But you didn't hear a laugh track is what I'm saying.
No.
Okay. And were there adults around in the show?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, now here's a tough one. Okay? Were the adults idiots? What are your thoughts on the matter?
I think they only seem like idiots because they have so many kids and then they're just crazy. But then towards the end, the dad starts to act all dad-like and stuff.
Yeah, he does act dad-like. I'm gonna go with the fact that the adults are not all idiots. The neighbor lady was definitely kind of an idiot.
Yes, she was weird. She was a peeping Tom.
She was a peeping Tom. What would a name be for a female peeping Tom? Tomalina? Tamantha? I don't know. But I think what she was a nosy Nelly. I think that's what she was supposed to be because she was always nosy about their family. And she actually was really rude and made fun of, was just ugly about them having 7 kids. Now, I don't have 7 kids, and I do think that would be crazy and miserable. But you know, to each their own. I have 4 kids. 2 we planned on, him and his sister, and then we had 2 unexpected show up. So we have 4 children now, and I could imagine 7 would be just heartbreaking, but they seem to manage. So no laugh track. There were adults in the show, and they're not all idiots. Now, did the parents act crazy? Yeah.
Yes.
What do you think the craziest thing the mom and dad did?
I think the craziest thing that the mom did was hide in the pantry. Yeah, and then she asked for coffee, and she couldn't find her to-go cup. And her daughter, the inventor, this is not the hottest invention of the show. No, it is not.
But she took a rubber dishwashing glove and put a rubber band around a mug and cut the end off the thumb, and her mom was sucking on it like a baby. And she said, "Ooh, a mix of dish soap and hazelnut. That's kind of nice. It works." So that was kind of gross. So her mom was definitely frazzled.
That down.
But I think that the fact that they act crazy is because of the amount of kids they have, and you know.
That's what I thought, like, they were sort of acting like idiots about.
Yeah, they weren't just being morons, which was nice because they do that so often in these shows. So it didn't get 1 mark on our What Are We Watching checklist.
Nope.
No, that's crazy. Okay, so why don't you run through just the main story of this episode, like what's happening and what's the goal of the episode?
The main story is a little girl. I forgot her name. I'm not sure they even mentioned it. She is obviously
they mentioned the main girl's name, Harley.
Harley. Oh, Harley. And Harley gets this flyer about
What's an award?
Award for her inventions.
Right.
And it's at a certain time on a certain day. So she wants to be there in time, and it's her day. It's Wednesday. She's stuck in the middle.
Yeah, well, the day they're going to the park where the award ceremony is a Saturday, but she feels like she's the Wednesday of the family. Like the older kids are the ones that came at the beginning, and you're excited and you know where you're going. And the younger kids are the end of the week, the Fridays and the Saturdays. They're just fun, and always having fun. So she feels like she's the Wednesday of the family, which would have been kind of funny if they named her Wednesday, like the girl in the Addams Family. But Anyway, her name's Harley. Okay, so they have 7 kids. Mom is hiding in a closet and drinking coffee out of a mug with a glove on it. She also has jelly stuck in her hair.
Yes, she's like, oh, this jelly is stuck in my hair.
And then what does she do with the jelly? This was the grossest thing of the show. With all the 7 kids that you expect to be gross, did you see what she did with the jelly in her hair? She started, you didn't even notice? She started sucking it off of her hair. That was the grossest thing ever. There are twin boys that are supposed to be, I think, about 5 or 6 years old in the show. They'll never be as gross as
They were arguing about how old they are. He's like, well, I'm 90 seconds older than you.
But nothing they do ever in the show will be as gross as a 35 to 40-year-old woman in a closet sucking jelly off of her own hair. That was pretty gross. The show opens up with Harley trying to get everybody to the park right away, and she yells something to get everybody in the house downstairs. And what is that word that she yells?
She yells, donuts!
Donuts! And then when they came down and there were no donuts, the older sister is calling 911 trying to get the cops to arrest her sister.
Yes.
She says, can't you just scare her then? And then, of course, they hang up on her. And, you know, your mom was watching the show with us, and she was like, that is horrible that they're showing kids that. But luckily, she just got hung up on by 911 and not arrested for making a bad call. The biggest phony thing about this show isn't the 7 kids living in the house, not the craziness that ensues, the wacky neighbor. The craziest thing about this show was that only 2 people were awake at like 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning, and she had to wake up every other kid in the house.
The dad and the Harley and Mom.
And, well, they were the only ones awake, but I've never been in a house with more than 2 kids where not one of them was awake early in the morning. If I want to sleep in on a Saturday, you're going to be awake wanting to watch TV, and your little brother's going to be awake going, I hungry. So that was the biggest amount of fiction in the show, was that everybody was asleep at the same time. Okay, so do you remember how they ate food in their dining room table?
Yes, they pushed tables together. Why not just get a bigger table?
Yeah, I mean, she kind of explained it. They have how many tables? 3.
3.
They have 3 tables. So it's like a small table that they had when they had a couple of the kids, and then a card table, and then just like an end table that they pushed together for their dining room table. And she kind of explains it, that they were so busy that they never got to go furniture shopping for a new table. And I was like, come on. That's the biggest fiction right after the fact that all the kids were asleep. Like, go online, get yourself a table. But it actually comes into play later. They do bring up the Kardashians in this show. I know you don't know who they are, which makes me...
I think I know who they are.
You do know who they are?
We watched like a few little clips of them.
Where did you watch a few clips of the Kardashians?
No, it was like... I'm not sure if it had Penn and Teller watching.
No, you would not have seen Penn and Teller in the Kardashians. The Kardashians those are 2 completely different things.
I don't think it was like the show or something
Penn and Teller
like that.
are people that have earned respect, and the Kardashians are horrible. So they do bring that up in the show. I get it. It's because it's the oldest teenage daughter bringing up the Kardashians. Let's never do that again, Disney. Let's never bring up the Kardashians again. No kid should look up to them. All right. There are 2 things that they need to get to before they can get to the park to get Harley to her award ceremony. Where are those 2 places that they need to go?
Basketball game and the cooking...
The soup kitchen.
Soup kitchen.
Do you know what a soup kitchen is, by the way? I don't ask him these questions during the show because that's the point of the podcast. But did you know what a soup kitchen was?
No.
I'm not doing my job as a father since I have not brought you to a soup kitchen. A soup kitchen is where a group makes soup, but other food as well, and they serve it to homeless people that don't have food. So you would volunteer your time to stand in line, and a person comes up with a bowl, you ladle in the soup, they move it down, get a piece of bread, get a drink, and it's people that don't have a meal every day. And I am a horrible parent for not taking you to a soup kitchen, because our church has a soup kitchen that they support, so We got to get on that because that's a good thing to do. So there are some awesome stuff in this show. So they have to get the oldest daughter to the soup kitchen, and they have to get one of the other daughters to her basketball game. The problem with the oldest daughter getting out on time was what?
The shower.
The shower?
Shower's too long.
And her clothes.
But I can't blame her for that because I take long showers.
You do take a long time in the shower, and you should blame her for that because it's bad. But the other problem was her mom said she cannot go to the soup kitchen dressed like she was. Do you remember why?
She was like wearing a very small skirt.
Very small skirt. Her mom said the soup kitchen will not be serving butt cheek today. That was very good. I actually like that. All right, the twins. What was their crazy game that they were playing in this episode?
It was the Ninja Challenge.
The Ninja Challenge. Now, one of the brothers, the older one by 90 seconds, challenged the younger brother by trickery, saying, "Oh, you can't do this." He said that you can't possibly do the Ninja Challenge. You're too young. And he's like, I could do it. I could do it. And what was the Ninja Challenge?
Where you could not touch the ground for a whole day with your feet.
Not touch the ground for a whole day with your feet. And did he succeed in the Ninja Challenge?
Yes.
He actually did succeed in the Ninja Challenge.
My favorite part with it was when they were at the basketball game. And they swung on a rope, and the older by 90 seconds brother, he tried to swing him into the wall, and he actually went to the snack bar and got a snack. Yeah. He said to Ethan, you want something?
Yeah, it was funny. He was swinging him to try to get to the snack station on a rope, on a gym rope, but the whole time he was going, hit a wall, hit the wall, hit the wall, hit the wall, and I was cracking up. And it was just the way they did it, the way they said it. It actually made me laugh out loud. I don't laugh out loud at a lot of these shows, people. So when I tell you I like something, I like it for real. I don't get paid by Disney or Nickelodeon. If I did, all of the reviews would be raving and the podcast would have no point because I wouldn't talk about how bad things are while he talks about how good they are. But my wife and I were laughing our butts off about this kid doing the Ninja Challenge. And he comes back with a hot dog in his hand and asks his older brother, want something? He's like, yeah, sure.
I'll take a salty pretzel.
Yeah, and so he swings it back, hit the wall, hit the wall, hit the wall. Oh, dang it. So that was very funny, and I liked that. Okay, we talked about the crazy neighbor. The parents usually in these shows are made to be incompetent. There were moments. The dad did back into back into one of the posts for their garage or carport, and the woman had already complained about all the balls stacked up in their house gutter, which really, woman, who cares? It's none of your business. But when he knocked over the post, all the balls came down and everybody was like, oh, ha ha ha. And then all of the sludge from inside the gutters came down.
Yes.
Now, you've helped me clean gutters before, right?
Yes.
Do you remember how bad it stinks, the old rotten leaves?
It did stink.
And mud. And this was like movie sludge, so it looked really bad. It was gross. And she just looked like a sludge monster. She looked like a poop monster at the end of it. I'll tell you the truth. But that was kind of funny, and she kind of got her just desserts. Yes, he messed up his own house, but it was kind of worth it in the end. So they finally get her to the park. She feels like a Wednesday because nobody cares about her. And then there's a great speech in the van about, oh, you're the glue that holds the family together. You're the one that makes the mug for mom. And you're the one that fixes doll babies. And you're the inventor. And blah, 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 blah. Everybody makes her feel good about herself. They finally get to the park on time, right?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
No, they do not.
No, at first you do think she's on time because she's giving her speech and you see her on stage, and then the next thing you know, there's a person moving the podium out from her.
Yes.
And
they're like lifting her up while she's doing her speech.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Moving the podium. They're taking the whole stage down. So while they all say that they respect her and love her for being the Wednesday and the glue of the family, they didn't get their act together to get her there on time.
No.
And we're not even going to touch on the fact that the older daughter, okay, I guess we're touching on the fact, the older daughter brought a boy home to have pizza with without her parents or anybody at the house. And of course, the dad said he was coming home as soon as the basketball game was over. If your sister ever pulled that, before she hung up the phone, I would be at the door. I would be like the Flash. And that kid better run that came to my house without my permission, because I'm not going to say I'd murder him, but he's not going to have a good day. All right, so she gets the award for her invention. She never showed the invention. What the heck was the invention?
It was a full table.
Oh, a table, yeah.
And it had plates on this little machine that could go around and you could grab what you wanted.
Yeah, it was like an electric Lazy Susan. Is what that's called. Or like the Chinese buffet that we go to that has the sushi bar. That it's called a sushi train. And they put different kinds of sushi. The little guy making it is in the middle. And then it's just on a conveyor belt. And it just goes around. And you open the door and grab out your sushi.
I think I got one of those at a Chinese restaurant before.
Yeah. And so that's what it was. It was like a little conveyor belt that they could put in. But one cool thing she had was there were dispensers that popped up out of the table. And one was for maple syrup and one was for ketchup.
Yes.
And I thought that was genius. Except there was one ketchup on one side and one maple syrup on the other side. There's a conveyor belt all around for the food. If I want ketchup and I'm sitting on the wrong side of the table, I still got to ask for help and hand you my stuff.
Yeah.
Or I have to put it back on the conveyor belt. Look, I know I'm nitpicking, but I have to put it back on the conveyor belt, wait for the person buy the maple syrup or the ketchup, put it on there, and then put it back on the conveyor belt. By the time it's back around to me, it's cold. This is my problem. I want the stuff on the conveyor belt, all of it, or I want everybody to have their own dispensers. She also had a button to move the chairs in and out, which I thought was
because the chairs are connected to the table.
Yeah, I thought that was crazy annoying, and I would any kid would break that the first day. That Ninja Challenge kid would have hopped on all those chairs, and it would be broken. But anyway.
Speaking of that, he fell out of the tree on his back. He said, "My feet didn't touch the ground."
Yes. Yeah, and his name was Beast, by the way.
Yes.
His name was Beast, and he was always wearing a bicycle helmet with one of those spikes on top.
Yes.
So he was always protected from mayhem because he was mayhem personified. All right, so it's going to be a surprise when it comes to me for my son, but what would you rate this show? 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. How would you rate Stuck in the Middle?
I would rate it a 9.5.
9.5. Wow, that's as close to perfect as you get. Perfect is a 10, and that's pretty much like Thundermans and Phineas and Ferb.
Yes.
Phineas and Ferb. So 9.5. That's a solid rating. I'm gonna give it an 8. I'm gonna give it an 8. I've never. I think the Thundermans is the only show I ever gave an 8, and I think I might have bumped that up to a 9 because, well, Chris Tallman came on and talked to us for an hour. It was just so lovely. So what do you think of that?
That's crazy.
I mean, I enjoyed the show. Yes, there were things I didn't like about it. I mean, when I nitpick about the table, that's just me, calling out points on the bad invention. But I mean, come on, that's just me being silly. I really liked the show. I liked the mom and dad. Yes, they were frazzled. They were screwed up. If I had 7 kids, I might hide in the closet. I might hide in the closet. And I actually don't drink alcohol. But if I had 7 kids, I would be sipping something other than coffee in the mug. I would be sipping something a little stronger. I don't know if you would ever see me if you were one of 7 kids. I enjoyed the show. I thought it was well done. I liked the premise. Honestly, they got probably 2 extra points from me, from a 6 to an 8, just for the twins. And then the challenge stuff. I really appreciate that. My son Oliver, Carlin's 2.5-year-old brother, loves to watch Ninja Warrior. And he loves to go to Lowe's with me and swing on the carts and yell, "Ninja Warrior!" And he loves to just jump from the ottoman to the couch all the time, sometimes landing on his 6-month-old baby sister, making her cry and scaring us to death. But I don't know. They got points for me for that. I just really enjoyed the show. I thought it was fun. I could see watching another episode and not just for the podcast. I think I would enjoy it. So there you go. Carlin gave it a 9.5. I gave it an 8. Probably, well, that's some of our highest scores ever. Thank you for joining us for the What Are We Watching podcast. Remember, go to whatarewewatching.com or find us on YouTube. Just search for What Are We Watching podcast and leave a comment on this episode. What did you like about it? What did you hate? What did I get right or wrong? What did Carlin get right or wrong? I think we must both be right because we both love the show. But if you hated the show, let us know why you hated the show. You might have some legitimate gripes. And even if you disagree with us, we still give out free gift cards and prizes to folks because we love to do that and we have awesome sponsors. So thank you for checking out our sponsors. Thank you for listening or watching to the podcast. We are going on break for a couple weeks because I'll be going on a cruise and Carlin doesn't record the podcast on his own. And if he does, I'm going to get him for it. So thank you for watching and we will see you.
I might use that white video camera.
Oh, he's going to use his own video camera and make a rogue episode of the podcast. That's awesome. All right, we will see and talk to you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey guys, we would really appreciate it if you subscribe to our channel. That way you don't miss any videos or any of the awesome prizes that we're giving away. So why not click subscribe right here? And you can watch another funny video right here. And if you click this button, well, you'll probably make me die a horrible death. You don't want to. No, stop. I mean, don't click it because it's real. I know it's virtual, but I'm going to die. Please don't click it. I don't even know what's going to happen. This production is brought to you by the Plaid Dad Blog Podcast Network. For more information, visit plaiddadblog.com.